You are watching Portraits in Color featuring Dr. Frank on YouTube. With the reckoning on race and a global pandemic happening concurrently, we need the arts more than ever. Dennis Gromelski, executive director of Fusion, made a decision a long time ago that downtown Albuquerque was a place to build a thriving arts scene. After 25 years in the Albuquerque area, we can officially call him a Burqueño.
I became a local 6 years ago.
Okay.
My experience tells me you need 25 years in a place before you can become a local.
Unless it's prison.
Yeah.
Well, you could do 25 years in prison and, be a local.
That's a total
They would call those local.
Locals.
They call them local, not local.
So 31 years I've been in town, and if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, my first time through was I was driving a bright green 1974 Cadillac hearse with a couple hundred surfing stickers on it, en route from New York on the way to the Oakland Dead shows. Came through town, and it absolutely and immediately captured me. I immediately got the sense with the big sky that this place and the people, business on a handshake at that time. Mm-hmm. It's changed a little bit now, but it's still kind of that same sense. If you're a person of your word, you'll go far in this town,
right,
and throw out any preconceived notions about it, because you're going to have to relearn those anyway. And I just fell in love with that concept of, in essence, go west, young man, the Wild West. Yeah. I grew up in New York, in Yonkers, which is just outside, next to the Bronx, and I used to have an accent. That's been punished out of me now.
Well, you kind of have a New Mexican accent now.
Yeah.
When you start going,
definitely not underlay, because that doesn't happen so much.
Right.
But I did my college years in Maine, and then I've always been I guess either fortunately or unfortunately, I found a copy of On the Road on my dad's desk when I was in sixth grade. And so right after college, I hit 49 of the 50 states, living in various other vehicles. And interesting. In the interim, while I was here living in New Mexico, I was also spending a lot of time on the road. Because A, I'm a road warrior, or used to be, and B, because I was involved in the trade show special event industry very heavily for 20 years. I was traveling 5-6 months a year to different gigs literally around the world. I got into that through building sets. Let me follow up on your earlier question.
Yeah.
My dad's a professor, or was a professor emeritus.
You guys are a bunch of low achievers, man. What's up with this? Rocket scientists, professors.
Yeah, well, both of those skipped a generation in me. I'm a student of life, I guess. We decided, because the group of folks weren't able to work legally, we put our big people pants on right from day one, and we opened a professional theater company. So what that means is, financially, it's a very difficult thing, particularly with a small venue like we started at that time. It's a very difficult thing to be able to pay a livable wage, a seasonally negotiated living wage, along with pension and health payments. It's the arts out in the real world. It's employment, it's job creation, that kind of thing, and that's always been very interesting to me. But once we opened that, we moved into the Cell Theater. We called it the Cell Theater. Everyone always says was that because the jail used to be right down the street. And actually, no, it was the Cell, because it's just starting as a very small, atomic particle, right? And
here we go with steam again.
Molecular. Yeah, here we go. And
it all connects.
And I won't even mention another company that's involved, zygote procreations. That's another out there biology thing. But when we started this theater in this building, it's really about, during all my travels, it was obvious to me, both when I was doing stuff for corporate gigs and both living out of my vehicles, it was obvious to me what different towns were doing and what cities were doing all over the country and the world, particularly in their downtowns, and how those communities developed.
Thanks for watching this clip from Portraits in Color. You can catch full episodes and other short clips of Portraits in Color on Mad Scientist Media's YouTube channel. You can also listen Download and subscribe to Portraits in Color on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other platforms streaming podcasts.